Thanks for watching this edition of the Fox 7 Austin Crime Watch digital exclusive. I'm Dave Froehlich, and we're taking a look at some of the crime stories that have recently made headlines in our area. The search continues for a suspect in the Georgetown triple homicide. The victims had recently moved to Georgetown from the Dallas area. Here's more from Fox 7 Austin's Alec Nolan.
On September 13th, just before 7:30 p.m., Georgetown police found 3 dead bodies inside an apartment in the 300 block of Luther Drive.
We know that we have 3 outstanding people who are no longer in this world.
34-year-old Alonzo Hawkins, his cousin 39-year-old Doneisha Brooks, and her 8-year-old daughter Olivia had each been shot multiple times.
It was around 10 p.m. when we found out it was 3 bodies in the building.
Within hours, a nightmare made real for family members. Phone calls bringing the unbearable news that their loved ones were gone.
I was sick, and that's my niece right there. And I love my niece. I love my sister. I love my cousin.
Doneisha's brother Joseph Brooks in disbelief that his 8-year-old niece could be taken so soon.
I don't eat. I can't sleep. I probably ain't showered in like 2 days.
As the family searches for answers from Georgetown police, they're hoping to bring all 3 victims back home to be laid to rest.
We have individuals who are working to bring the remains of our loved ones back to Mansfield.
Georgetown police say they've identified a person of interest who they believe is known to the victims, but their whereabouts are still unknown.
I want this guy to be found because it's ridiculous what he did to my 8-year-old niece and my sister and my brother.
The Texas Department of Public Safety says a trooper has died in a crash. We're told Jerry Wayne Adamic was responding to a call in San Jacinto County on September 15th when his vehicle went off the road, hit a tree, and caught fire. Right now, there's no word on what caused that crash. He served in the Army for 2 decades before joining DPS. He's survived by his wife and 5 adult children. A Williamson County man has taken a plea deal for murdering his friend in 2023 and dumping his body in a different county. Fox 7 Austin's Angela Shin has that story.
Nearly 2 years have passed since the death of 30-year-old Sean Joseph. On October 5th, 2023, Round Rock police say Joseph was shot in a Walmart parking lot on East Palm Valley Boulevard, and then his body was dumped in Milam County. He wasn't found for 12 days. The suspect, Royce Loggins, pleaded guilty Monday, taking a deal for 40 years in prison for the murder charge, with the tampering with a corpse charge dropped. He gets credit for the nearly 2 years he's already been in jail. Joseph's mother, Bridget McCarty, thinks he should have had a harsher sentence.
Do I feel that he got justice? No, because I think all those charges should have been brought up against him. 40 years is nothing, but I got something. I want him to do life in prison without possibility of parole.
During the plea hearing, Loggins' defense attorney said there was a period of time where her client was incompetent with hallucinations, but became competent after treatment. Loggins spoke very softly as he pleaded guilty and answered the judge's questions. The defense also wrote a letter to McCarty where he accepted responsibility and apologized for what happened. McCarty made a victim impact statement in court, the first time she faced Loggins since 2023.
My thing was to come out there, let him see what I had to say, let him see the strong person, let him see Sean's mama.
She started by taking a good look at him, talking about how his action left a void in their hearts. She says Loggins knew her son since he was 14, and Joseph showed him kindness. She says now she doesn't recognize herself, and the world feels scarier, adding no matter how much time Loggins serves, her son is still gone. She told us afterwards.
Sean was the person that made everybody laugh. He was the person that can walk in the room and change the atmosphere. His nieces and nephew loved him. He always wanted his name to be in light because he used to rap, but I'm going to make damn sure that his name is in lights. They'll never forget Sean J.
At one point in the victim impact statement, McCarty told Loggins, "You've been reduced to nothing." And at that point, Loggins' cousin started shouting and she had to be escorted out. Angela Shen, Fox 7 Austin News.
In East Austin, police are investigating a homicide after a man was found dead in a mobile home park. This happened at the Frontier Valley Mobile Home Park on September 13th. When officers arrived, they found a Hispanic man who ultimately died at the scene. We're learning more about a large-scale skimming operation uncovered by the Texas Federal Crimes Intelligence Center, or FCIC. The suspects were targeting fuel pumps in several parts of the state, including Central Texas. Here's more from Fox 7 Austin's Marco Bittnell.
The FCIC says this operation is part of a complex criminal network, and while some suspects have been charged, others are still on the loose as the investigation continues.
This is how these suspect groups operate, and this is happening all day, every day across the United States.
A criminal network spanning across Texas now revealed. A complex card and fuel skimming operation being uncovered by the Texas Financial Crimes Intelligence Center. So far, the FCIC has charged 10 men for their roles in a skimming operation targeting fuel pumps in Texas, including Austin and Pflugerville.
Very rarely is this a single individual. This is almost always organized crime.
Captain Jeff Roberts says the FCIC has been investigating the operation since 2023. But the network isn't just limited to Texas. Suspects have supplied and even trained others, spreading their criminal activity to other states. The main device used in this operation is what's called a deep skimmer. It can be installed at a reader in just a matter of seconds. It then steals the data off your magnetic strip, and it's what led to one suspect gaining over $400,000 in illegal transactions. That fuel bought with your card info is then sold on the black market. But what makes these skimmers so dangerous is how undetectable they really are.
A lot of these devices are small enough and well placed enough that a common consumer, a person going to just fill up at the gas station, may never recognize it.
Roberts says one of the only surefire ways to prevent being a victim is by staying on top of your bank activity.
You are often going to find the fraud before the bank identifies it.
Make sure to be aware of any suspicious charges, especially fuel purchases. Set up activity notifications from your bank, and it's important you report fraud as soon as possible before any real damage can be done to your account.
The FCIC says it's common for parts to be shipped from overseas, with the skimmers then assembled here in the United States. But now they're starting to see fully completed skimmers sent directly from countries such as China. Reporting in studio, Marco Bittnell, Fox 7 Austin News.
Traffic stop recently led to a drug and gun bust in Mustang Ridge. Back on September 14th, two officers stopped a driver for speeding on East Lone Star near Cross Meadow Court. Upon searching the truck, officers found a large amount of marijuana, drug paraphernalia, and two firearms, including one that was stolen. The driver was arrested and taken to the Caldwell County Jail. Guns were also part of a bust in Round Rock. Police arrested 19-year-old Kevin Jaramillo from Georgetown while executing a search warrant on September 10th. Investigators recovered several firearms, including a Glock with a switch device that converts it into a fully automatic weapon. In addition to the firearms, officers found several drum-style magazines and several hundred rounds of ammunition. Jaramillo is charged with several gun or drug charges and unlawful possession of a machine gun. He's being held in the Williamson County Jail. We're learning more about the officer-involved shooting in Zilker Park on September 10th. Here's more on that story from Fox 7 Austin CrimeWatch reporter Meredith Aldis.
It was around 3:30 in the morning. Austin police officers were going around Zilker Park looking for park curfew violators.
Officers located a stolen vehicle. While the vehicle was being prepared for a tow, two suspects approached from the wood line, claiming the vehicle belonged to them.
They're identified as 30-year-olds Kay Smith and Brandon Thompson. Court records reveal they may have been living in a tent back there.
Thompson fired his weapon, striking the female subject in the back of the head and Officer Reinhart in the abdomen. Officer Reinhart returned fire, not striking Mr. Thompson, who then fled through the wooded area.
About an hour and a half later, a shelter-in-place message was sent to 100,000 numbers in a 22-mile radius to people signed up to receive Warn Central Texas alerts. About an hour after that, the shelter-in-place was incorrectly lifted as students were heading to school. Thompson was spotted at Barton Hills Elementary School at 7:43.
We probably had hundreds of people walking to school within a block of this man. That, there could have been a terrible incident.
Chief Sneed admits that was a communication failure.
Processes that we had in place, the protocols we had in place, are designed for our students that are already on campus. I feel like my team does that extremely well. What we did not and had not built into it was when kids are on their way to school, out at lunch, or leaving school, how we address those. And so that's what we're going to really be focused on, along with working with our partners and building up our communication.
Thompson ultimately broke into a home, and the homeowner shot him in the arm and leg.
30-year-old Kay Smith was pronounced brain dead. The officer was rushed to the hospital, underwent surgery, and is recovering. Brandon Thompson's criminal history, meanwhile, dates back to 2020. He was arrested for many misdemeanors and felonies, including possession, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, and deadly conduct. Most of them were either dismissed or prosecutors declined to press charges. Well, police in the Houston area are looking for the person who recently robbed an elderly man and knocked him off his walker. This happened on the southeast side of Houston. The victim says he often visits this corner store. And on August 30th, a young man approached him asking for money. The suspect then reached into the man's shirt pocket. There was a struggle. The older man was knocked over.
Concern was I had just had back surgery and I thought I was going to, injure something, but thank God everything's okay.
Police are asking for any information that may lead to identifying this suspect. Well, a thief in plain sight was caught on camera. A purse was snatched from a woman who was working at a popular Northwest Austin seafood restaurant. Here's more on that story from Fox 7 Austin's Jenna King.
Just like a shortcut. You never know people will do things like this.
What started as a regular afternoon at Frida's Seafood Grill quickly took a turn. Surveillance video shows a woman walking in around 1:30 Wednesday. Staff says she lingered inside before telling the hostess the bathroom was out of toilet paper. General Manager Lee Wong says when the hostess stepped away, the woman slipped behind the counter, grabbed her purse, and walked out. The entire thing caught on camera.
I think this lady for me is kind of like it's not a random. She probably do things a lot of this. She know what she do. She plan, she look. Then she know what she doing.
The hostess has kept her purse behind that counter every day for 20 years without any issues until now. This time it cost her, losing some of her important belongings.
She has a driver's license for sure. She has a wallet, has some cash, and has paycheck, has her checkbook. Also, of course, the car key, the home key, this kind of thing, some important things.
The woman was last seen leaving in a black Ford, but the license plate wasn't visible. In response, Wong says he immediately started installing more security cameras to deter this from happening again. And in the middle of the loss, some relief. The restaurant's owner, Frida, is covering her employees' losses. Wong says she's going to buy her a new purse, replace the money stolen, and her car keys.
She worked here a long time. She worked here 20 years maybe. Yeah, she worked here a long time, so we treat her like a family.
Jenna King, Fox 7 Austin News.
There are new details about the gruesome beheading at an East Dallas motel. Fox's Stephen Dial has the latest on that story.
A day after a man was beheaded outside of a Dallas motel room, court documents describe how the gruesome crime unfolded. Some of the details we are not saying in this report because they are simply too graphic. Much of the information comes from a witness who told police she and the suspect worked at the location and were cleaning room number 108. That's when the victim, Chandra Nagamalaya, told both workers about a broken washing machine and instructed the suspect not to use it. Court documents say the witness stated the suspect became upset that the complainant was speaking to the witness to translate the communication instead of speaking to the suspect directly. Something in that confrontation set off the suspect. Moments later, police say he produced a machete from his person and started cutting and stabbing the complainant multiple times. The incident spilled into the parking lot, where the complainant's wife and son attempted to get the suspect to stop cutting him. Police say the suspect pushed them away several times and continued his assault, eventually removing the victim's head from his body. This is video from when Dallas police arrested Yordanis Cabos Martinez near the motel. Investigators say the suspect was covered in blood, still armed with the machete, and possessed the complainant's lanyard with keycard and cell phone. The brutal murder left many in the area shaken.
I can't wait to go home and tell my husband I want to pack up and move.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
I really do.
You live around here?
I do. I live right up the street. Criminal justice will come swiftly to this man.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind that justice will be served. As much justice as we can possibly get from a horrible crime like this.
Pflugerville Fire Department is trying to alert its firefighters to a call without using an ear-shattering siren. Fox 7 Austin's Katie Pratt went to the station to see how that all works.
we got to check out the cutting-edge technology that the Pflugerville Fire Department is using to notify its first responders.
You can feel the actual bed shaking.
The CEO of Ease Alert says he grew up in a firehouse, watching his dad work as a firefighter for more than 20 years. And that's where he got the idea for the company.
I saw the toll that the alerting process can take on a firefighter. Being around the firehouse and hearing those alerting tones from the traditional alarms, I could feel it in my heart when I'd hear those tones go off.
The low-volume system notifies firefighters in place of the loud traditional station alarms, which can be startling.
Ease Alert has the opportunity to help firefighters, wake up quickly and be in a position that they can respond quicker versus being startled, having time to gather themselves, and kind of come to their senses.
The wireless technology aims to alert without the alarm.
Outside of heart attacks being the #1 cause of on-duty death, they're up to 14.1 times more likely to die of heart attack during that alarm response window.
Repeat, this is a test. This is a test. Repeat, this is a test.
The tactical pre-alert wristband or dog tag ensures firefighters know when a call comes into the station, no matter where they are, as opposed to the traditional alerts that notify the building.
Some of the crews have liked the wearables because they get notified where they're in portions of the station where they either have too much noise, they can't hear it, but also they don't have to have radios going.
Repeat, this is a test. This is a test. Repeat, this is a test.
Their mission is to improve the heart health of first responders and reduce the added stressors that come from the emergency dispatch calls.
We've seen up to 21% reduction in response times when we're able to give a pre-alert with our dispatching console.
According to the company, Ease Alert is the first and only firefighter alerting system in the world that notifies the first responder directly. I'm reporting in Pflugerville. Katie Pratt, I'll send it back to you.
Thanks for watching the Fox 7 Austin Crime Watch YouTube exclusive. Our Crime Watch stories run each Monday on Fox 7 Austin News at 9. For more on the stories highlighted in this episode, you can head to our website, fox7austin.com. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox 7 Austin YouTube channel. You can also watch all of our content on our Fox local apps. They're free to download and available for your mobile and connected TV devices.